Hey y'all, what's going on today? We're back for another video. Not a reaction today, but a recap and review of season 4 of Lost. Yes, so this video will probably be a shorter one. Just getting off the fact of watching the finale, the 3-part finale. My mind is swirling and racing, and I just am so overwhelmed. Let's talk about season 4. I'm probably gonna forget some things. I'm probably going to I'm probably gonna forget some things, but we're going to do our best and we're gonna have a good time with it. Season 4, I definitely was saying how season 4 was very it had an objective and it knew what it was gonna do. Apparently there was the writer strike that um there's a writer strike that kind of caused some delays and shortened the season and all that stuff. So it's interesting that how that played into it. Obviously, I don't really know fully how it changed the story, if it changed the story at all. Let's see. So much happened. I mean, obviously, we end the last season with Charlie saying it's not Penny's boat, which I think is super symbolic that we end up in the final episode, in like one of the final scenes, we end up actually on Penny's boat, though, which I think is actually kind of cool. And I just thought about that symbolism, the mirror and the parallel there. But we do find out about that there's this boat we're trying to reach. There's Naomi. Is she to be trusted? Is she not? And it starts to divide between Jack and Locke, and we're seeing the two different characters go at it once again. They've always have had the different mindsets. They've, the man of science and man of faith, and back in season 2. And so it's been pretty incredible to see kind of them kind of work together a bit. But then now they split. And now we bring in the new party, the faction of the people from the boat who aren't necessarily bad guys per se. The ones we get to know, like Charlotte, for example, and the other three. And they have their objectives, they have their plans, and they have the things of what they're going to do. And you're going to get to explore some of them more, which is kind of cool. And so you're kind of figuring out, like, do we trust him, do we not? All of this is happening in Ben and his shenanigans because Ben is now being hunted by, like, this militant assassin group that Whitmore is going after him. And so while we have this power struggle between Jack and Locke, we also have the power struggle between Ben and Whitmore. This season ends up having some huge casualties. We end up losing Alex, Russo, and Ben. That is the trio there. That is just completely gone. It kind of takes the leash off of Ben. Ben might have had to play it safe to protect that piece of him, that side of him, the family. But now that he doesn't have to, it's like he can do what he needs to do, which is dangerous, but also kind of exciting to watch and see what he ends up doing. Let's also not forget that this season also reintroduced Michael. We got to see how that all went down, how he cannot die. The island, from what we could tell, is stopping him from being killed, which is crazy. My goodness, just thinking about all the stuff in the season, there's a lot. It's jam packed. But it's a very concise story where they are getting from point A to point B. And then additionally though, they tell so while the story is being told pretty linear in the present day, it is fascinating that they introduce the flash forward, they introduce all the crazy stuff with Desmond, and then as a result of the flash forward, they're kind of going around in different periods and they're using certain clues to really throw us off and clues to kind of lead us into where these take place. So you could probably align them up after the season and get a consecutive story from chronologically from start to finish. There were newspapers, Jack's beard, certain mention of when events happened and when they didn't. Um, and we get teased about the Oceanic Six and that they're the six that survived. And you're kind of wondering who it is, and you're slowly getting revealed it, and you're wondering, does that include Aaron? How does Aaron play into all this? And then the whole time I'm like thinking that like at the end when we get to the finale and it's like there's 8 on the boat, I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense because there's only 6. But then I was like, duh, they did say that there was 8, but then they lost 2. And then they also, my gosh, they also said, I kept thinking like Desmond's there, but Desmond was not on the plane. The other pilot was not on the plane. He was supposed to be, but he wasn't. Um, that was also another cool episode where we got all 4 characters mini flashbacks to lead them to be heading towards the island, which was cool. We also see Abaddon. So, Mr. Abaddon, he is interesting. We only saw him a little bit in the beginning of the season, so I'm not sure. I would feel that he's maybe Whitmore's number 2, or he's a separate entity, maybe. Interestingly, Abaddon is, I think, Hebrew for like the angel of death or the pit of hell, or like it is bad news. So I don't trust him. I will literally be so shook though if it is he's a good guy, which I don't think he is, but oh my gosh. Now, Ben also introduces us to that botany area. I forget what they even called that now. On the top of my head, I literally just watched it, but that like did teleportation or time travel or something. Maybe time travel because whenever so we know it takes place when he goes to turn the wheel. It takes him, everything turns white, it moves the island, which is crazy. Where the frick did that island go? But then it also, it just leaves so much mystery because he wakes up and he says what year and date it is. So, maybe that it does involve time. Oh, but time is weird too because we know because the island messes with the time, which was also explored. How there was some differences with time and such, which also connects to the whole Desmond stuff. So much in the season. I'm probably missing things too, but overall, this season was a fun season. I really enjoyed it. It is probably my favorite. It is this is a season that really has made Lost probably a top 3 show for me. Very much possible favorite show. I want to end up getting a Blu-ray set of the show. And I want to dive more into the lore. I want to dive more into the theories and such. And depending on how the end, it'd be really, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'll wait to say that. I was gonna say something about the continuation because now it's in the hands of Disney. Um, I will hold on to that thought until after I see the finale because I don't want to say that until I see the finale and how I know how it ends. So we'll hold that thought for now. I'll bring that back later. But I think that pretty much wraps it up. Again, this season had incredible acting, incredible cinematography, animation, or some of the graphic effects and visual effects, like some of the explosions and such, a little off. But I mean, at that point, you have to realize that like this is before they really started to get good. Might not even had the budget for it to really put money into it too. So, very small thing, but like it doesn't take away from how great the music, the acting, the story, all of it is. It's truly, this is, I get it now. I get why this show is what it is, why it's so important to so many people, why it's important to the history of television, why it's important to the writing of television, how it led into Once Upon a Time, one of my favorite shows. I understand. And I cannot wait to just enjoy these final 2 seasons. I cannot believe, like, what is it now? Because like both these seasons have like probably like 14 episodes apiece or something like that. So like we're at like maybe one has a little bit more, maybe one has 15 or something. We're looking at like 30 episodes roughly. 2 episodes a week. That's 15 weeks, pending if finale has multiple parts. Wow. That is just insane. In freaking insane, guys. All I can say though is as I wrapped up this thoughts, this brain spew of just craziness. Um, well, actually, let's theorize. Let's do some theories going into season 5. I think we're gonna dive more into maybe that teleportation stuff. Maybe explore a little bit more of that and the island moving. I think we're definitely gonna see what's going on with the people on the island. We kind of got to fill in the gap from what we missed from the island. We saw what was happening with the Oceanic 6. What was happening during the island at this time? What led it for Locke to be in that coffin? And why does Ben want us to go back? Why do we have to go back? And all 6 plus Locke. And then let's also not even forget the fact that there's also now like Claire and Christian Shepherd are kind of acting very weird and sus and all that stuff. I think Abaddon will show up again, and we'll maybe start to get a better idea what's up with him. I predict Whitmore's gonna die this season. Okay, so yeah, let's do character death predictions. All right, Whitmore's gonna die. Whitmore's gonna die. I think we're still get Abaddon into the final season because I think that makes a lot of sense, being what his character name means. So Whitmore dies this season. I think we're still gonna see Desmond and Penny, and I think Desmond's gonna die. So that's gonna suck. I think it's gonna be revealed at some point that Jin and Michael are still alive, but then Michael's gonna actually die. We're gonna find out that Juliet and Sawyer are like a couple, and they're like dating, and they're like a relationship. They sleep together. They do a lot of things together. I think we're going to see a lot of conflict with Kate. I think we're gonna see people kind of like moving forward, but I think Kate, being the fact that she had that dream with Claire, that I think that's gonna really be a big roadblock. We could possibly see who Kate was talking to, possibly being the girl that was in Sawyer's life and possibly had a son. I don't remember. I feel like I'm making that up now, but maybe that did happen. And that's basically my predictions and my thoughts for this. And I'm also predicting I'm probably going to cry more because it's probably going to happen. So, overall, guys, thank you so much for joining me for season 4 of Lost. Cannot wait to go into season 5. I appreciate the support. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. That way you don't miss any of season 5 and season 6, plus the other videos as well. Let's talk about season 4 down below, and have a good rest of your day, guys.